Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing or recapping the latest episode of Power season 6. So we're up to episode 3 and I'm going to try to do something a little different today. I want to try to see if I could review this whole episode in 10 minutes or less. So we're going to just jump right into it, and we're going to be moving a little, hopefully a little quick, a little swiftly today, but we'll see. So I do have my notes, so I gotta keep everything in order. So first, let's talk about the fact that they brought the theme song back as promised. 50 Cent did say that he was bringing the original theme song back, so I was excited for that, and I was hoping that that wasn't just a bunch of garbage being. But I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad that he brought the theme song back, so I didn't have to skip the theme song. So that was great. And number 2, 50. This was his actual directorial debut. Directorial debut. Wow, almost couldn't say that. So anyway, so this was his first time directing, so he directed this episode, and I just gotta say that the fact that I knew he was directing this episode, it kind of made me nervous, because 50 is a little, I feel like his creativity might be a little dark, so I kind of knew that there was going to be some deaths coming in this episode, so I was just a little nervous about that. Now, speaking of deaths, the first scene opens up with Donovan telling Dre, okay, we got to get out of here. You need to testify right away. So as he's gathering Dre's daughter, this and that, trying to leave the house that they're in, here comes some guys coming through blasting the cartel or whatever, right? So all of the men get killed pretty much, and then Donovan helps take out the guys that came through blasting, and then him and Dre are the last men standing, and then Dre turns around and shoots and kills Donovan right in front of his daughter. Like, his daughter had her back kind of turned, and then she looks down, and the father, Dre, kills another man right before her very eyes. I don't know if that was just to, first of all, you see this little conversation that Donovan was having with Dre before that, talking about, are you equipped to be, a father, a good father to this child and everything. And, Dre is just kind of like, he's basically dismissing everything. And then right after, he kills a man right in front of his daughter. So that just further proves that he is not equipped to be a good father, or to be a father, period. All right, so we're gonna move on. So as Dre tries to flee the scene, he gets caught and everything, and he's brought in for question. He wants to know, Saxe of course wants to know who put the hit out, who did this, who did that, right? He thinks, he obviously thinks Dre has something to do with it. And Dre is possibly thinking he was going to get out of being in, not being in witness protection, but being able to testify. And so Saxe is like, no, you still have to testify. So I don't really know what Dre's end game with all that was, but you got to know all the time that Dre is up to something. So we're going to move on from that. And then we have a sex scene moving on. Of course, 50 has to involve a sex scene, and then he has to make it even more unnatural by having Councilman Tate answer a phone call and talk politics while he's having sex, okay? Of course. So, and then fast forward, we find out that the woman that he's having sex with is his, I guess that the Caucasian guy is his assistant. So that's his assistant's girlfriend, Tate's assistant's girlfriend that he's having sex with. Wonderful. Of course, in true 50 fashion. I mean, come on now. He got to be true to how he is. So now we have this new chick named Ramona Garrity. And she comes in and she fires like half of Councilman Tate's people or whatever, and I guess she's trying to clean up shop, making sure that the people that are around Tate are the right type of people. So she also wants to look into what's his name, Ghost. Okay, there we go. So now moving on, we have Tommy, who brings Keisha to one of the little meetings with his, his boys or whatever, the small meetings with his workers, right? So one of the guys, and I don't remember his name, not Spanx. Is it Spanx or whatever? Not him, not the one with the glasses, the other one that used to work with Dre. He said, anytime a chick gets involved, and I'm paraphrasing because he was using curse words. So he says, anytime a chick gets involved, things go sour. So the first thing that I thought about was, okay, this must be some type of foreshadowing. You know what I mean? Because we all know that with Keisha involved, we're all anticipating that something is going to go down, right? She's definitely going to screw things up for Tommy. So anyway, that'll be Tommy's own fault anyway. So moving on. Now, Saxe is in interrogation room with Alicia Jimenez and her lawyer. And I guess the whole goal for Alicia's lawyer is to not get Alicia to go to trial and to, let her serve her time in Mexico or whatever. And Saxe is like, no, that's not happening. No deal. Okay, moving on from that. So meanwhile, Tommy and Tasha have their little puff pass powwow in the car, the little meeting that they like to have. And they're talking about laundering the money. This is a dilemma that they have. They don't have a way to launder the money. And they're talking about Keisha's shop and everything. But since Tasha and Keisha have beef, that obviously is where the dilemma lies, right? So then he gets a text from Jason saying to get over here. So he goes to see Jason, and Jason tells him, you know what? You're taking too long with this Alicia problem. I don't want you to kill her anymore. I want you to bring me her alive. So now there's this whole thing going on where he has to bring Alicia Jimenez, break her out of jail or break her out of whatever. Not out of jail, but out of the court situation. And then here we go. So then turn around and tells Ghost the same thing. Because obviously he's playing both of them, as we've been seeing since I think the second episode. All right. So now we're moving along. It's already saying that I've been doing this video for over 7 minutes. So I'm not sure if we're going to meet that 10-minute mark, guys. I don't know. I'm going to try. So Tasha sees her mother making money after she's smoking weed or whatever with Tommy. She comes to pick up her daughter, Jazz. And she sees that her mom has a little side hustle where she's making some money babysitting the kids. When she sees her mom collecting some cash, she gets that look in her eye like, And so I already know she's thinking about using her mom's business or side hustle as a way to launder money. Okay? We're going to get to that in a little while. So meanwhile, well, I shouldn't say meanwhile. I should say later on she has dinner with Tariq because he comes to town to try to, re-up. But he can't because, he doesn't have a supplier anymore. So anyway, because Tariq sees his mom struggling, he gives her a wad of cash. And she's like, where did you get this from? And he's like, I got it from Kanan. He left it or whatever. And she's like, I don't want that money. And he's like, Kanan is not all that bad. So when it looks like she's trying to get ready to school him about Kanan, Ghost knocks on the door. And I was like, oh, dang, I would love for someone to school Reek, like at some point to where it makes sense, all right? Because I just kind of feel like he really admired Kanan, and it was just like, wrong dude for you to admire. So anyway, we got Saxe and Rodriguez having a conversation, and they put everything together, right? They tie it all in that Angela was actually helping Ghost and Tasha and everything and covering up for everyone. So Rodriguez, Blanca, she says to Saxe, well, if that's the case, then Ghost didn't have any reason to kill Angela. And so Saxe says, no, he definitely is the one who killed her. So anyway, of course, Saxe insists that Ghost is the one that killed Angela because he's a freaking idiot. Anyway, moving along, because we've been doing this video for almost 10 minutes now. So it doesn't look like we're going to make our goal. So in another scene, we see Ghost is telling Reek. He says to Reek, your Uncle Tommy is alive. And so Reek tries to play it off and like, oh, he is, and then Ghost looks at him like, how long have you known? And so he's like, listen, if I can't trust you, like, you know, that's definitely a problem, because I have nobody else. So I have to be able to trust you, because everything that I have is going to you. And so, you know, they give a hug or whatever, and the hug was just definitely fake on Reek's behalf, on his part. And he tells his dad, oh, you can trust me. Okay, whatever. And then he has this little shady smirk on, you know what I mean? So I'm still trying to figure out where this is all going to go, how Tariq is going to, in the end, how is he going to be there for his dad, if he is going to be there? Because I know a lot of people are expecting Reek to either kill his dad or to betray him in some way. So I'm still trying to be hopeful, because I think that because most people think that's not what's going to happen, because that's what most people think. So they're going to have a little twist going on. That's what I always think. Anyway, so now we have Tommy goes to see Proctor, and he's like, I need the courthouse for Alicia Jimenez, and I also need the courtroom so that I can break her out of jail. Or whatever. Not break her out, but break her out of the courtroom or whatever, right? And so he bullies him as usual. That's the reason why Proctor cannot stand Tommy, because Tommy is just a loose cannon. He's scary, and he killed somebody right in front of him, all that stuff. So even all of that might come back to bite Tommy in the behind, the fact that Proctor has that evidence that he killed another man in front of him. So we'll see how that all plays out. But anyway, he bullies Proctor into giving him the information for Alicia Jimenez. All right. And another scene, we get a bonding moment between Reek and Effie. You know, she's like, oh, you've been a little quiet lately, blah, blah, blah. So he tells her, you know, well, first she talks about the fact that she lost her brother. And then, you know, brings up his sister. And then he tells her, you know, he's lonely. He feels alone in the world without her, blah, blah, blah. Because they shared a womb and everything. I don't mean to say blah, 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 because that it was a nice little sentimental moment. But I'm trying to move on, as I was saying. So, you know, he basically tells her, he opens up to her that he's been quiet because he doesn't have a connect anymore. He doesn't have any more pills. And the person that gave him the pills, Kanan, is dead as well. So let's see where that goes. In another scene, we have Tasha at a meeting with Garrity and Tate. Garrity is Ramona, the new chick that's working with Tate. And they want her and Ghost to work together and remain that, you know, united front for everybody. Just that show of one big happy family. And Tasha's like, no. But then when she sees that there's an opportunity to use it to her advantage, she agrees. Only if I think she wants them to fund and make sure that she passes inspection and licensing for the daycare. So clearly she's working out her thing so she could get that money to be laundered and cleaned for Tommy and whoever else, right? And then we have the scene where there's chaos in the courtroom. First of all, we have this guard that gives Alicia Jimenez some poisonous water, right? She starts coughing up. Then you got Keisha in the bathroom letting everybody know, oh, she's in here. So then you got Tommy's workers dressed up as ambulance drivers or EMTs or whatever, and then they break her out. Long story short, you got Ghost, who is out there waiting to try to do his thing. I don't know what his plan was, but Tommy's plan clearly worked better. And even Jason said, you know, I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was you who actually succeeded in breaking her out. But anyway, he gets her there and he kills Alicia, and Tommy's just like, what was that whole thing for? If you wanted her dead, you know, why didn't you just have me do it? Anyway, that was a stupid question on Tommy's part, because he didn't know how to do it in the first place. So his main excuse was, she's in prison. I don't know no female hitters in the pen. Boom. All right. So we're closing in, guys. So Jason continues to play games, you know, with them. And then Tommy and Ghost are figuring it out that they're both being played. But there's still a little... I think they realize that they're in deep with this guy, and they both are they both understand that if they, you know, don't play their cards right, they can both be killed by Jason, right? So Tommy, Ghost tries to call Tommy in the end and says, you know, let's work together, put our differences aside to try to, to get rid of him, you know? And Tommy wasn't having it, and he says, the next time I see you, I'm canceling Christmas on you or whatever, he says. But before that, because I believe that was the last scene, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Before that, Keisha agrees to launder Tommy's money through her shop. She said she'll clean the money herself. So here we go. Keisha's getting deeper and deeper, and we know that we're getting closer and closer to the downfall of her and Tommy. Okay, there we go with that. And so then we have Saxe telling Dre, he's basically trying to pin Dre against up in the corner. He's trying to, pin him against the wall and tell him, listen, you got to help me get Ghost. So that's the recap, guys. I'm not sure exactly how long it was, but I know it was definitely over 10 minutes. I tried my best to do it as fast as I could. This episode was so good that every little thing that was going on, it was like I felt like I had to take notes. It was important. So I do apologize. I did try to keep it condensed as possible, but I hope that you still enjoy it. I will be going live tonight on Facebook. Okay, I will have the link in the description box below so we can talk about it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please, I keep asking, please comment, because that's very important. That's the purpose of these videos. I don't want to just be talking to the camera and no one comments. All right, but thank you, and I appreciate your time. And I'll see you next week for episode 4. Bye-bye.